Leo, this is your general reading for the month of April 2019. In this reading, I'm going to go over your general energy for this month, also what's going on with work, love, and money, and then talk about what's something you should keep in mind. And for those of you who are curious, I am reading with the Marigold Tarot. Okay. So let's see what's going on with the sign of Leo for the month of April 2019. Okay, about ready here. All right, so where you are right now is the Knight of Wands, which is interesting because the wands are the fire element, which is your element, and it relates to action, communication, forward movement. So it also looks like this little skeleton is dancing, by the way. It's kind of funny. So this is about you, things are building in your element. I didn't pull a King of Wands anywhere. So you're growing and developing, moving forward, feeling your power, I would say feeling your element. So you're still in the beginning stages. You're not quite at the very beginning. It's not a page, it's a knight. So there's forward movement. You're also probably firing up your ambition, figuring out where you want to go in your career, with work, wherever it is that your ambitions will lead you and take you moving forward. That's sort of your main focus this month. Also, you're planning with the Two of Wands. You're putting plans into motion, figuring out where things are going forward. You're figuring out where you want to be, where you want to direct your energy. You might also be feeling like going inward a little bit with the Four of Swords here. That card's usually about kind of taking a break from the outside world, taking a rest, because you know that more things are coming up in the future. So you're taking a breather when you need it. Also, you may be feeling like not as financially secure or stable as you want. You're working toward it. Because the Knight of Pentacles is about feeling like you're financially stable, financially confident, you're able to take care of yourself, support yourself wholly and completely and efficiently. So that's not really in place. So let's look at why. So with work, you've got the Four of Wands in reverse. So this can mean that you're not necessarily feeling like you're building as strong a foundation as you want. Sometimes with this, I feel like when it's in reverse, it's not that there isn't a foundation there. It's just sort of a wonky way to look at it. It's different than what you'd imagine. So you might have a support system in place, have some people, have a work situation in place, but it's maybe different than what you thought it would be. You've also got somebody this month who, with the Six of Pentacles, there could be some generosity going on there. This card is usually about an equal give and take with something. When you need help, you take it. When you can help others, you give it. That's that sort of thing. So what I'm hearing is being open to receiving in some sort of situation when it relates to work. And that could be because you're having troubles with abundance with the Sun in reverse here. Sorry, it's sort of out of focus. But this card is about seeing the good in life, having abundance, prosperity, recognition. You're not quite at that point yet, but you're working toward it. So I think it's also important to acknowledge like what is going right in life, what is going the way that you want it to, because sometimes that can mean sometimes it can kind of mean depression, that you're not seeing the good that's there. But the trick may be to tap into your emotions a little bit with the King of Cups here. Sometimes I see the King of Cups as a romantic partner. So I don't know if some of you are working with a person that you're in a relationship with. But it can also relate to being emotionally mature, having emotional mastery, that you're feeling like you're in charge of your emotions, you're ruling them, they're not ruling you. It's really about, it's funny because like you see like these things sticking out of the king's head here. I feel like using your brain. So it's, you can use your emotions, but it's like you being in charge of them in a way that makes you feel like you're doing something that makes you profitable. For some reason I'm hearing that. Like you're still making money from what you're doing. But maybe it's also tapping into your feelings in a certain way. Also, you're waiting on good news with the Eight of Wands here, but it's in reverse, so it's not coming right away. So there's a delay on good news. So let me just ask, what's something for you to look forward to in the meantime? Five of Pentacles in reverse. That means getting out of a mindset of poverty or lack. So what, for them to say that that's what blah, blah, blah. What you can look forward to in the meantime is changing your perspective about money, finances, abundance, lack, prosperity, all that stuff. So if you feel like there aren't enough opportunities to make the money you want or to have the work opportunities that you want, that'll be shifting. So I think, again, it's that noticing what is going on. Being emotionally mature, I also take as like checking in with yourself and saying, well, was this really good? Am I like sort of playing something in my mind of being worse than it really is? That sort of thing. Okay. Love. First card is death. This doesn't mean an actual death. It means transformation. This card is about something that's coming to an end and that's being transformed. So it could be your actual love life, the way that you look at love, the way you handle love, the way you receive love, the way you give love, an actual relationship you're in, one that's coming, however it applies. There's going to be some sort of transformation going on there. And you've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. So when you get a court card like a queen, these can always go a couple different ways, because the court cards can either mean a specific person you're dealing with or it's an aspect of yourself. So take this however it applies to you. The Queen of Swords can be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or it can be someone who makes up their mind, knows what they want to do, will go after it. They're not always very diplomatic. They're kind of like, we're getting shit done and we're doing it my way because I'm right. It's like that kind of energy. So whether they're that to a T or whether that's sort of their personality, that's sort of the person that you're dealing with. It could also be you, again, an aspect of yourself. However, when the Queen of Swords is in reverse, it usually is someone who could be acting a little selfishly. In this case, it feels like someone, if they're acting selfishly, it's out of an insecurity. Someone who maybe doesn't fully know what they're doing. Someone who's afraid of the past and the future. So it could be somebody who's just sort of feeling like anxiety and nervousness. So they just want to do something. They just want to move something forward. But at the same time, you've got the Fool in reverse. So again, this can also be kind of similar in that this could be you or someone else that you're dealing with, or the general energy. So general energy, I take this as there's a new beginning that isn't happening just yet. Or someone's acting a damn fool, and not in a good way. Because when this is in reverse, it usually means like they're being stupid, they're being callous, they're not thinking something through. They're kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just throw myself off this cliff and I'm sure I'll be fine. And it's like, dude, did you look? Did you see how far the drop is? No, you didn't. You didn't look. And so I'm hearing callous again and sneaky. So there could be someone that you're dealing with in this case with the Fool who is not necessarily... They're not thinking things through, but they're also just thinking about themselves. Maybe someone's acting a little bit selfish. And it could be that same person, it could not. So there's something that's not moving forward right away when it comes to love. This could also mean it's not a Cancer, the sign of Cancer. But at the same time, they want you to have hope. This can also mean it's an Aquarius, which is funny because it's the opposite of Leo. But this can mean also, I usually see this as having hope, not losing all faith when it comes to love. So why? Why do they want you to have hope? You got the Two of Cups in reverse. I would take that as love is coming, just not yet. That it will be there. It's just not happening yet. Yeah, you're still getting over some past heartbreak of some sort. There's still something that needs to be fixed and sorted out before you can really open up your heart to another person. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, money. 5 of Cups in reverse. It could be that you're focusing on something from the past when it comes to money that's holding you back from your full earning potential. So with that, I would say it could be your well, not just your financial circumstances, but the way that you view money, the way that you see it as a whole, the way you look at it. But it feels like that could be changing and shifting. It feels like, because you also have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 5 of Cups, it's like somebody might have wronged you, someone might have hurt you, something might have happened. You might have what feels like a weak perspective when it comes to money, abundance, finances, fertility for some reason. But that's changing. And I feel like part of it is also not feeling defensive anymore of this, depending on how you feel about money. It's either not feeling defensive when it comes to money. So if you haven't had it in the past and you felt like you were picked on a lot for that reason, it's moving past that mindset and thinking that that's still your story, that it's not your story anymore, that you can change your dynamic. But also it could be that if you feel like you haven't really built toward anything, which could be a source of conflict. There's some sort of argument, discussion, aggression maybe that's going on around money. Because the 5 of Wands usually means like somebody's fighting with somebody. There's some argument. Now, all these are minor influences. So like something will be shifting. You've also got the Page of Wands here in reverse. So again, could be somebody acting immature, somebody not necessarily seeing the full capability and potential, not necessarily building up to their full capacity. I feel like not necessarily seeing the truth for what it is. So that could be somebody that you're arguing with about money. Yeah. And you might also be feeling a little out of balance. You might be feeling like you can't really find your even keel in your external life because of money. You feel like you want more of a balance than you're getting. So how to fix that? Okay. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is sort of an interesting card as an answer, because upright it would be like you're going toward a point of prosperity, toward a point of balance. In reverse though, it feels like a don't worry about it. Don't feel insecure. Don't doubt yourself, because you are capable. So that being said, let's go into something for you to keep in mind this month. That might help clarify some of that stuff. Whoa. Okay. Give yourself a rest period while you get over a broken heart. With the 3 of Swords in reverse, usually it's that you're going through the worst period of some recovery from a breakup. That your heart is expanding, it's growing. Your knowledge about love, your love languages are shifting and changing. Something's happening when it comes to how you absorb, reconcile, receive love. So I think reconciling past relationships, stuff like that. And then the 4 of Swords is that taking a break, taking that time to yourself. So for those of you who aren't dating anyone this month, who are getting over a breakup, it's kind of giving yourself, it could even be like a heartbreak of some sort. It may not necessarily be romantic, but something that disappointed you where it wasn't as happy as you wanted it to be, something that came to an end. So I feel like it's that, give yourself that time and space to recover from it as you need. Some light themes coming up, just being sarcastic. You're not feeling in your element with the Strength card here. This is for Leo. This is like, you're not really feeling as good as you want to. And it could be because you got some big stuff going on. You got the Tower in reverse and Death in reverse. So this could be, okay, actually this makes a little more sense now. It could be that you're not feeling in your element because there are big shifts and changes. That's what these cards represent, because this is like hand of God stepping in, knocking something down that can no longer exist. This is transformation, change coming where it needs to in your life. And at the same time, not feeling hopeful. So with all those in reverse, I take it as you're not feeling yourself. These shifts are not coming in and you're not feeling hopeful. So in a way, are you blocking your own shifts and progress because you're afraid of where they'll take you? Something to think about. Because it feels like if you are knowingly avoiding a conflict or knowingly avoiding a change, putting yourself in that sort of holding pattern, that waiting mode, kind of blocks the shifts that could be happening that actually would make you feel stronger, feel more in your power, and have more hope for what's possible for the future. So there's some, like, usually, which makes sense because when these cards come up, even though they look really scary and they seem really terrifying, like, oh my God, what is that? They're usually messages that come up for a reason. With the Tower, it's often like, what is it that is not going to withstand the future? Part of it is lightning is coming and striking this tower down and it crumbles completely. That's what the Tower card's about. But it's because it can't withstand supreme pressure. So you're meant to rebuild something else in its place that can withstand the next storm. And maybe it'll eventually fall too, because everything comes to an end at some point. But it's still that whatever's there is crumbling. It's falling apart. So the hand of God is coming in and saying, whether you believe in God or not, doesn't really matter. It's something else comes in and says, this isn't meant to be here. This isn't for you. Not long term, which is the same as death, the transformation. But at the same time, it's a new day. The sun's still rising. So you have this chance to bring new energy in through that destruction. Which, for those of you who love philosophy, I'd say look up destruction theory. I don't remember the name of the woman who wrote it, but she was a student of Carl Jung. But it's the idea that whenever there's something destructive that happens, out of that chaos, something good comes. And so I think that that's part of the lesson for you guys this month, is that there's, by avoiding this conflict or this chaos that could happen, you're not necessarily doing yourself any favors. There's some shifts that could happen, I think, that would actually make you feel a little bit stronger and more powerful in yourself. So, light stuff, no pressure. I mean, obviously it's up to you what you want to do with your life. And how it feels, what it feels like. But I would say whatever it is, you can also gauge, how far do I want to take this? How far do I want to let it go on? How do I want to handle it? How do I want to accomplish my goals? How do I want to adjust and deal with whatever the shift is and how it's going to change my future? So, something to think about. Well, I hope you have a wonderful month, Leo, and I will see you guys again next month.